It's been almost a year since Fate Samurai Remnant graced us with a deep story, some fun characters, and plenty of enemies to take on in battle. We already talked about the main game along with the two recent DLC, and you can check out those videos if you want to see what I think about them. But today we finally get to check out the last DLC in this season pass and see if it was worth coming back to this game yet again. Just like the other two DLC, the story here branches off from the main plot, so it's more of a what-if scenario. And it really makes this whole ritual take a complete left turn. Just like the last DLC where we had to figure out who was killing people and solve the murder mystery, we have a new case to solve. This time, kids are turning up missing all over Edo, and it's up to Iori and Saber to figure out exactly what's going on here. And along the way, we get to meet the newest rogue rider servant, Zhao Yun. He's based on the military general from the Three Kingdoms era, and he even has a few connections with Saber. He was sent here alongside another spirit who ended up getting turned into a baby. Since we already have kids going missing all over the place, then you can probably guess what happened to that baby too. The whole story brings together many of the enemy masters and servants, which is something I wasn't really expecting. It strays away from the rivalry that we're used to seeing between everyone, and it's kinda cool. The main person being Yui, who ends up getting turned into a child for whatever reason. And again, you might be able to guess what's about to happen to her too. But there's a lot here that starts to bring these characters closer together against a common enemy that's different than we've seen before. Not only is this enemy snatching up kids, but they're also messing with the leyline energy in Edo and putting the whole region at risk of destruction. So overall, for the plot alone, I gotta say that they did a decent job of putting everyone in a situation that fans are gonna get a kick out of. The fights here are pretty much the same as you expected before, but just with a new servant and a new addition to Saber's skill tree. There's a great amount of battles mixed in between the dialogue, and they let you play as quite a few different servants too. Now the main draw is getting to play as Zhao Yun, but there's actually two different servants that they add in here. The second one is unlockable after the main events of the DLC, where you get to see more backstory on her. Now technically, Koei Tecmo doesn't want people talking about the specifics of who she is just yet, so spoiler warning I guess. But this is a new rogue berserker who we later find out is based on Kishimojin. And she's seen as both a goddess and a demon in both Chinese and Japanese Buddhism. And just looking at her, you can see the demon pretty well from the horns alone. And I'm just shocked to see that 2 out of the 3 DLC have demon baddies in them. I do think the addition of these two characters is a pretty decent thing. It's kinda similar to what they did in the first DLC with Ibuki Doji and Boss, but the only difference is you can actually do a lot more with the two characters. Like, I get it, Boss can't be tamed, but it just sucks that we can't do more with him. I was really hoping to see some kind of extra mode get added in to make the replay value longer, but we still have the recollection battles we can play after everything is said and done. With the final DLC being in our hands, we can get down to the most important question. Was the whole season pass worth buying? Now for me, I'll say that if you already enjoyed everything that the main game gave us, then you obviously would be wanting more. The extra bits of dialogue, the new characters, and the alternate plots totally make these DLC shine. I won't lie, sometimes I wish there was more action than talking, but again, I knew what I was getting myself into from the start. My favorite of the season pass would probably be this third DLC, simply because it brought these masters and servants together. Unlike the first DLC that was split apart and kind of a mess. I'll never get over playing the parts of those stories that were exactly the same that I had to go through multiple times. But even the story in the third one is something that I liked better than the second, so I'd say that they saved the best for last. Let me know what you think about Fate Samurai Remnant, the season pass, and the most recent DLC in the comments. Subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I'll see you all in the next video.